Hi!
Hi, everybody!
Hello, hello! Welcome to Wine, Wine, and Once, a Once Upon a Time podcast. I'm Dee.
And I'm Lo. And every week we are watching through an episode of Once Upon a Time and recapping it so you don't have to.
You're welcome.
Now, heads up. Not a spoiler-free zone. We have seen this show too many times to count. We've been watching since it first premiered, and we've been watching together for almost as long.
Mm-hmm.
So we are talking with full knowledge of the show. If that's something that you're not ready for, then feel free to go watch on Disney Plus and report back if you want to.
Precisely, but we also, if you just don't care, we will tell you every detail you need to know. Even the ones you don't need to know.
Oh, and so many. So many details you won't need to know. But as always, we say everything with a hefty dose of both salt and love in our hearts.
We do love this show. We really do.
Our favorite show. It's certainly my favorite show.
Oh, absolutely. No, it's because I love it that I feel like I get to hate it as much as I do.
Right. I love it so much, and I love its concept, and I love these characters. Mm-hmm. And sometimes they do things that I'm like, I just wish you had done something so slightly different.
I would argue, if you don't see the good and the bad, is it truly love? If you're only loving the good,
right?
That's
not love. That's infatuation.
Yes, and maybe once upon a time I was infatuated. No, I've moved on. I've matured.
Matured. What a word.
What a word for what an episode.
You know what? In this episode's defense, no one is shown Eaton on screen.
We're still not over it, guys. We are still not over the fact that Red ate her fucking boyfriend.
What? Oh my god. I'm still in shock. It's been a full week, plus a couple days.
Yeah.
And I'm not over it.
I don't think I will ever be over the fact that they gave us that and then gloss over it for eternity.
We will never bring that up again. Maybe one time. We might bring it up when the other murder happens.
Oh, yeah. But even then, we're never going to sit there and have the conversation of, mentally, how are you, Ruby? Are you good?
You good?
I don't think you are. I'm not, and I didn't eat my boyfriend.
I'm still reeling from that revelation. And I did not digest my boyfriend, so...
No.
Yeah, but anyway, how's your week? How's it going?
Week was good. I think it was, I say it was a short week. It wasn't. I was given early, I was told if you're done with your stuff, leave early on Friday. So I decided I was done with my stuff at 2. Was I done with my stuff at 2? Unimportant. I decided I was done at 2 and just logged off.
And sometimes you just gotta do it.
Exactly. I was, I didn't even do anything good with that time. I think I slept.
She says she didn't do anything good for that.
Okay, no, you're right. I did. That's fair. No, but it was a good week. Nothing really exciting to report except for your visiting. You're gonna be here tomorrow, and I'm so excited.
I can't wait.
I
can't
am
wait.
Stoked.
I'm so excited. I got my car already. Yes. And I just have to pack once we're done with this. But
excellent. I can't. There'll be so much wine, so much shenanigans. We get to record together.
I can't wait. I mean,
it's a good one to record together as well.
Yes.
And that's all we will say on that.
I can't wait. It's gonna be so much fun.
I'm so happy. But the exciting thing is I am treating myself to extra wine because it's, a Saturday afternoon versus a Wednesday night. So
yeah, we are not recording at our normal time.
Exactly. It's not a true rosé. It was called like a Rosarita or something. I don't know. We got it at a winery in San Diego area, and it's nice. It's very lovely.
Excellent.
It's pink, which makes me happy. So it's very rosé-esque, but it's a bit more dry, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Good time.
Color-wise, it looks darker than a rosé.
It's definitely more of a red-heavy situation. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know. It looks like someone took red and white wine and they were like, this is how you make rosé, right?
It does look a little bit like that, yes.
I don't know, but it's good.
It kind of matches your shirt.
It's a Newsies shirt. Thank you for noticing.
I shouldn't have brought it up.
This is your fault. What are you drinking? What's going on? How are you?
I'm good. I cannot wait. Car has gas. All of and antifreeze and all of the stuff.
Excellent.
Tires are ready to go, you know. So, ready for a long drive, but
you should listen to this really great podcast that comes out every Sunday morning while you're driving.
I was just thinking I was going to, in fact.
And yes, we are, in fact, those narcissistic assholes that listen to ourselves.
Well, in my defense, I don't edit the podcast.
That's true.
That is all Dee's job. Thank you, Dee. So, I don't get to hear
That's true.
it until it airs. And sometimes I realize I've said things like Sky Mongoose. So
I think that you've said
better.
nothing wrong in your entire life.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I mean, we are our own target audience.
Exactly.
We make ourselves laugh.
Exactly. And so, yeah, anyway, I have a red today, which is unusual for me, but...
Wow, we've kind of switched spots. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
Yeah.
What kind of red?
I have a Pinot Noir.
Ooh.
But I have a very, very hefty pour because I had to kill a bottle before tomorrow. So
I was going to have more than I realized I did not have to kill it because you will be here to help me commit wine murder.
Yeah, exactly. So I am having to get rid of this all before tomorrow.
Oh,
Not that
no.
it wouldn't keep, but I don't want to come back to it, so.
That's fair. I think that's a good way of handling everything.
Right. And, I mean, again, after the trauma of reading through Ruby eating her boyfriend, I needed a hefty pour today.
How are all of you doing after that? Is everyone okay?
Is everyone else okay?
We're not.
Oh, my goodness. No. Please tell us, send us a DM on Instagram.
Yeah.
Leave us a review. Could
Talk
just say
to us.
Ruby ate her boyfriend.
We're joking, but also we're not, okay. We've told you guys, we started this just as a fun passion project, as the kids say. But you guys keep listening, and it's really wild and bonkers and mind-blowing, and it's kind of fun.
We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come follow us on Instagram at @WineWineAndOnce.
Oh. Yeah, follow for whatever the fuck we post there.
Bad memes.
Mostly bad memes.
Can we interest you in some bad memes?
Yeah. The only good-looking thing on our entire Instagram are the title cards that Keely made for us.
Yes.
Thank you, Keely. You're the best.
Exactly.
Other than that, it's just shitty memes.
But those are the best kind of memes.
It's exactly.
Best kind.
Precisely. Well, are we ready to dive into whatever this is?
I think we are.
Oh boy. We are on episode 16, Heart of Darkness. As always, we will consult the trusty Disney Plus and see what it has to say.
Great.
After Emma is forced to arrest Mary Margaret for the murder of David's wife, Mary Margaret hires Mr. Gold as her attorney. Snow White continues to be affected by Rumpelstiltskin's potion. Now, the first half is fine, except for the hiring Mr. Gold happens at the very end, so it's not really a plot of this particular episode.
Mm-hmm.
The issue I have is with the latter half. Snow White continues to be affected by the potion. True, we have seen 1 2-second instance many episodes before where she took the potion and Grumpy's like, Charming's not getting married, and she's like, oh, who? But other than that, we have not seen her affected, so it's weird to say she continues to be affected.
Very true. That's true. I mean, I guess technically, yes, she is continuing. It's not incorrect, but
no, it's just odd. But
yeah,
for once, a very factually correct summary.
I have no big issues.
Unlike the one, 3 episodes ago, where it's, David chose to be with Mary Margaret when he didn't, or decides to tell her the truth and he didn't.
When he actively decides not to decide.
At least this is 100% correct and accurate and true to what's happening. Good for them.
They're learning.
All right.
They're growing.
I'm going to take a hefty sip of this.
Yeah. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Oh boy. All right. So we're back on track with starting things in the Enchanted Forest. We deviated last week. None of that. We are once again starting off our adventure in the Enchanted Forest. Red Riding Hood and Charming are camping in the woods, and guards arrive to capture Charming because, he decided not to marry Abigail.
Right. Of course. I wonder how Mama David's doing.
How is Mama David? You good? You shouldn't be.
Dead.
You should be dead. And Red tells him to go and find Snow White, saying, I'll stop the guards. You go. And she stares up at the full moon and removes her hood to turn into a wolf and attack them, which is insane.
How last episode you ate your boyfriend, and this episode you're totally fine and cool and dandy with it.
She's using her murder for good. I just don't know. I recognize time has passed because the timeline is different.
Mm-hmm.
Our last episode did not happen in story order right before this one.
Right.
But even then, we're talking maybe a year at best. If we're being very generous, we can say a year between Baby Snow becoming Hunter Snow, whatever.
Yeah.
We can say months have passed. It would take more than months for this woman to get over eating her motherfucking boyfriend.
One would think.
She's taken off her hood, and we can only assume and hope that she knows to put it back on after she's done murdering these guards.
Hopefully.
We're never going to address it, because now we're going over to Storybrooke.
Sure.
Where Emma is taking Mary Margaret's mugshots, because, she's being accused of murdering Catherine.
Mm-hmm.
And Emma says, I don't want to arrest you, but there's too much evidence. I have no choice. And Mary Margaret's very sad about this and keeps saying, but I wouldn't do this. And Emma says, no, be patient, because Regina's going to fire me. Like she says, Regina will fire me if I don't do the job by the book. And if I'm fired, I can't help you. Which is pretty accurate.
Mm-hmm.
I would say. Solid advice. Don't piss off Regina.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yep.
much.
No arguments from me.
Nope. Going back to the Enchanted Forest, we're starting with a lot of back and forth action in this one. Snow White is singing in the dwarves' cottage. Once again, we have a very direct Disney moment where there's no way of saying, oh, this is just fairy tale creatures. She's singing the I can't think of the name of the song, but the I'm dreaming for the one I love song. The Wishing Well song.
I'm wishing.
Fuck me. Yeah, I'm wishing. Yeah, that's the one. Just fuck me. But she's humming that one, and she has a broom, and her hair is curled, and she has a bow in her hair. And she sees a bluebird and, does what Snow White does best and beckons it over to her, and then tries to smack it with a broom.
Yes, I love it because it's such a moment. Although now that I'm thinking back, was she singing I'm Wishing, or was it with a smile and a song?
Oh, it was. You know what? It was with a smile and a song. Which is even more ironic, and I love it even more.
Yes.
Oh, it's good. It's so good. So, she's trying to go ham on this bluebird, and Grumpy's like, what in the fuck are you doing? And she's like, I'm getting the vermin out of the house. And he's like, okay, well, can you come to dinner? Please? And so she gets the bird out and is like, okay, fine.
And stay out.
Basically, I wish... Lowe's, you're so right. You're so right.
I wanted it so badly for her to just yell after the bird and stay out while she slammed the shutters closed.
I think we deserved that. But she walks into the dining area to see the table lined with the dwarfs on either side staring at her. And Jiminy Cricket is also there, because he's here to stage an intervention.
I mean, in a true intervention.
These
men have speeches written on note cards.
Mm-hmm. And they all kind of go around, and Sneezy's like, you purposely brought hay into the house knowing I'm allergic to it. And she's like, bitch, you're allergic to everything. And Happy's like, you broke my mug. Fuck you. And Dopey stands up and says, you're a bastard woman. He says that. It's insane.
He says nothing of the sort. Dopey is a perfect angel, and Dee is lying
it's true.
to you.
It's true. But they're all going around to kind of present their qualms, and Grumpy says that the potion changed her behavior because now she's angry with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And Jiminy says that Snow is taking her problems out on her friends. Snow kind of brushes this off and says her real problem is the evil queen. She captures Jiminy Cricket and is like, nah, I'm not dealing with you. You're now not my problem. And she leaves announcing she is going to kill the queen.
Solid.
Love that for her. In Storybrooke, Emma is interrogating Mary Margaret, and Regina is there as a third party to ensure no favoritism, which seems like a weird choice, considering Regina is not an impartial member, since Catherine was her best friend, allegedly.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah. But she's the mayor, so I guess she gets to do what she wants.
This is true. So, yeah, Emma is showing Mary Margaret so she's interrogating her and brings out the box that the heart was found in and says, hey, have you ever seen this? And Mary Margaret's like, yes, that's my jewelry box. And Emma's like, well, fantastic. The heart was found in apparently your jewelry box. And Mary Margaret insists, no, someone must have taken it. It must have been stolen. Regina tells Mary Margaret she knows what she's going through and how losing someone can put someone in a very dark place. And Emma says that Regina shouldn't be asking the questions like, hey, whoa, you're here to observe and make sure I don't, show any favoritism. You can't be running the investigation.
Fair.
Right. But Regina tells Emma to search the apartment for evidence of a break-in, but that a broken-hearted woman is capable of everything. She's like, no, fine, search for a break-in, do your job, do what you have to do, but a broken-hearted woman could probably murder someone, so you're probably not going to find anything.
File that away.
Yeah.
For your...
First of all, anything is possible in Jesus, so jot that down.
Yeah.
But
David Christ, our Lord and Savior.
Amen. True to her word, Emma goes to Mary Margaret's apartment, and Henry's there? Not at school? I don't know.
It's fine. He's just... Whatever. His teacher's been arrested for murder,
They probably don't have substitutes in Storybrooke, to be honest.
That's fair.
School's canceled. Teacher's arrested. Nothing matters.
It's a teacher's arrested day, huh? One of those classic days.
Does that mean they tack
every
a day
kid
on?
wakes up for in the weekend?
Are they going to have to tack a
winter.
day to the end of the year then to make up for this murder day?
For the murder day?
At any rate, Henry's there and he's like, hey, I know I should be at school, but we need to help Mary Margaret. Because he thinks that Regina, he's like, my mom is framing her. Trust me. I know everything. And Emma's like, that seems like a stretch.
Fair.
But he's like, no. Regina hates Snow White. My logic is flawless.
Yeah, no, I don't know why she doesn't believe the child claiming that his mom is a fairy tale character who is framing another woman for murder.
Right? It's fine. And sure enough, there is no sign of a break-in as they're inspecting the apartment house loft situation. But there is a rattling sound in the floor, there's like a heating grate, I guess.
Yes.
Near her bed, and Emma goes to investigate, pulls out a hunting dagger.
You know how you let kids just kind of rattle around in a police searched area?
This is the second time in probably less than 12 hours, 24 hours maybe if we're generous, that Emma has let someone that should not be allowed in an
investigative area.
Mm-hmm. Just poke around, touch things, get their fingerprints on it.
Just try it out.
It's fine, apparently.
Try it out. I don't know. I had a moment. We had a moment in this scene because just looking around those.
You know how we like background shit.
Yeah, Mary Margaret has a lot of curio cabinets.
None of them have doors. It's just open cabinetry.
Yeah, they're all curio cabinets
everywhere.
They all have doors. They just have panes of glass in the front, which feels like that would be very annoying if you were trying to go get a book off a shelf.
Right. She also has framed artwork that a child has done, and so many pictures of Henry. I would be a little concerned.
Yes, and a sun room that we will never see. There's some sort of room behind the glass, that clearly has a big window.
Through the kitchen, where a pantry would be in a traditional house setup. It's just like that frosted glass, and there's a door, and you can kind of see a push cart behind it. Maybe there's something there. Yeah. Maybe another wood store. I don't know. I don't understand what it is. It's we will never know. This is probably the most we see of her living space.
Yes, and one day would love for someone to draw out just the layout of this apartment building, because like in the hallway where her door is doesn't necessarily make sense for the layout of her apartment. It's just it's a lot.
I want someone that worked in set design to tell me what the intention was with her living situation.
Yes, I want to hear all about all of the set dressing
Tell
and stuff.
Me everything.
Everything.
So, in this investigation that Henry's involved in, she found the dagger that matches the description of the murder weapon. Fantastic. Zipping back to the Enchanted Forest, Snow has captured one of the Queen's knights.
She clotheslined him. She clotheslined him.
She did. This did happen. And she, threatens to murder him if he doesn't tell her where the Queen is. And he's like, she's in her castle. Which is like, why? You mean the Queen's in her castle?
Wait, right, I get... technically, I guess it's like... which castle? She's got more than
one? The reveal
one?
Is she's going to the Summer Castle, which was Snow's mother's retreat. Like, it was her place. It was meant to be just for her. It was the, I guess, purpose of this conversation, because she gets really mad. So she tells him, strip your clothes and give them to me.
You know what? Before she does that, she has a weird long monologue about how her diamond can cut into pickaxe and also human flesh.
I'm sorry, I talked over it. Please go over again, because I blocked this out.
Yeah, no. She has a whole long monologue about how the pickaxe that she is carrying, that she's stolen from the dwarves, it's hard enough to cut into diamonds, this hardest substance on Earth. And also, imagine what it could do to human flesh.
Oh shit, she has one of those axes that only work on, that can actually cut through human flesh? Those are rare.
Those are super rare. Everyone knows that pickaxes traditionally cannot cut through human flesh.
No. Yeah, it is a really weird distinction of, like, you didn't have to say... He sees the pickaxe in your hand, ma'am. You've clotheslined him. Right. I think he's very afraid.
Very weird moment. And I'm sure it's trying to underline, like, this potion has made her bad.
Like, inhumane.
But, like, it's weird. It's weird. It's a...
bananas.
It's a bonkers conversation.
But it works.
I mean,
he gets
it puts the fear of God
naked.
into him.
He gets bare-ass naked.
Bare-ass naked.
Which is important for later. You should remember. This is important. I feel you should write it down. God. So she puts on this poor sap's clothes. And at this point, Grumpy catches up with her and is like, hey, your plan won't work. We need to get you to Rumpelstiltskin. We need this potion to be reversed. Like, this isn't going to work. And she's like, okay, let's go see him. Fine. So off they go. In Storybrooke, August and Henry have what I can only describe as like a traditional bar conversation between two guys.
I just wanted that mug of cocoa to come sliding down the bar and Henry to catch it.
Henry's staring at it all forlorn, and August sits down. He's like, oh, you seem down, kid. And he's like, yeah, I'm down. He goes, oh, I don't think you're going to find the answers at the bottom of that mug.
I know, where's the lonely piano man in the background playing a sad song?
It's even better because Henry's like, I think I will. Like, it's just like, no, the answers are there. Trust me.
Yeah, the drink will help.
Basically. So they have this moment, and Henry's sulking because Emma has to arrest Mary Margaret, his favorite and only teacher. Mm-hmm. And August tells Henry that, hey, like, that book that's in your bag, I also believe in those stories. They're all real. Fantastic. And, Henry says, I'm trying to find proof. And August says, well, I'm here. My mission is to try to convince Emma to believe. I'm on your side. We should look in the book for answers. And then he just fucking leaves.
Sure. Perfect.
It's fantastic. He's just, which is great. Because in hindsight, August, like, he says, oh, I'm here to help Emma believe. Because that bastard is turning into wood and he doesn't wanna. He's not being for the greater good here. He just doesn't want to be turned into wood.
I would agree with his life choices.
Not incorrect. At this point, we leave Granny's diner, and David is walking into Regina's office to try to defend Mary Margaret. Regina has this whole conversation about how evil isn't born, it's made, it's not easily recognized, and sometimes it's staring right back at you. And she stares at him.
It's beautiful.
It's great.
I love it. It's one of those clever moments that we love the dramatic irony where we know something the character doesn't know.
Mm-hmm. I love that Regina is saying that, like, this will be funny and he's not going to understand it, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Yeah, this is for the audience. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge.
She is giving... That's because Regina has main character energy where she does believe that perhaps she's in a TV show that people are watching.
Solid. Yes.
And she's not wrong.
I accept that. Mm-hmm. I accept that.
But, you know, David doesn't want to believe that Mary Margaret knows anything about evil. He's like, absolutely not. Then he explains about the blackouts that he's been experiencing and his belief that he's the culprit. And Regina's like, you should probably figure out what those blackouts are. Kind of gives him the idea to go, perhaps, look into that.
Yeah.
Whatever. Emma tells Mary Margaret about the dagger. Very upsetting conversation. Which is fair. And she basically says, you should get a lawyer. And then immediately Mr. Gold's there and is like, hey, I'm a lawyer. And then Emma's like, oh no, don't get a lawyer.
Not that lawyer.
It's a great moment.
Yeah.
And Mary Margaret's like, hey, that'd be great, but I can't afford to pay you. And Gold's like, no. I'll do it pro bono because I'm invested in your future.
Sure.
Fantastic. But
that's normal.
It's totally fine. And Mary Margaret's like, Emma, you do your job. And let me do this so if you fucking suck at your job, I don't go to jail.
I think a perfectly reasonable response.
If Emma is in charge of making sure you don't go to jail, you should get a lawyer.
Get a lawyer.
Anyone.
I'm sorry. She lets 10-year-olds help her search apartments.
Ooh.
So.
Oof. It's not great.
Yeah, let her get a lawyer. Just lawyer up. Yep. And you know what? Here's the thing. Lawyer up any time you've got issues with the law. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter. Just lawyer up. Right. Do it. Doesn't matter. Just lawyer up. Do not start talking whether or not you think you know you're innocent. Lawyer up.
You heard it here, folks. You heard it here. We are now jumping back to the Enchanted Forest. Charming finds the knight. You know, the one that Snow said, give me your clothes. The scene starts with us looking at a 100% naked ass. Full naked. And he says, hey.
We don't see his ass.
No, but it's like, they did.
It's certainly
implied. They show the lower back and you're like, this is going to be a butt.
Yeah, no, we don't see it. It's important to note we don't see it. It's just very, very much implied that this man is bare-ass naked.
Which is interesting, because and when Charming says, turn around, and this naked man does, he's like, I take it back. Cover up. Why are you naked? Sir.
Please cover your
balls. See his naked ass. What did you think the situation was going to be?
He thought it was like a G-string or something.
Just
like a random stripper in the woods wearing a G-string.
Good for him. Good for him.
And then he's like, wait, whoa, too much.
Wolf, take it back. And he's like, who did this? And the naked man starts describing it. And you can tell Charming's like, the evil queen. I fucking knew it. And he's like, what? No, this was Snow White. She fucking...
This poor put-upon man has been attacked by so many royals in one day.
It's very sad. But he reveals, nope, Snow's gonna kill the queen, and she went to go find Rumpelstiltskin. And Charming kind of questions this version of the events, but he ultimately goes to go find her. Fantastic. Grumpy and Snow have since found Rumpelstiltskin, and the Dark One's like, yep, sorry, this potion can't be undone. Sucks to suck. Love potions don't exist. Boo hoo hoo.
Right, I don't have this is where I would put a love potion if I had one.
And there's literally an empty spot in his potion cabinet, which is...
His freestanding potion cabinet that he's placed in the middle of the room. I don't like it. It's weird.
All it takes is one person that's had one glass too many to stumble and all your potions are done.
Right.
All gone.
Yeah, no. It's bad placement on his part, and that I will stand by that.
Yep. But he confirms that now Snow is incapable of feeling love, so it didn't just take away memories of Charming, it took away her love.
Right, her whole ability to love, so now she has
no empathy.
Yes, no compassion, no empathy. Absolutely.
And Snow's like, fantastic, I didn't want a potion anyway. However, I would love to commission your help to kill the queen. Can you help me? And Rumple's he's already on it. You know he is. He's like, abso-fucking-lutely, let's do this. Mm-hmm. Here is a bow and arrow that will always hit its mark. And then he points to a very vague spot on a map and is like, yep, be right here. She'll be passing through the Queen's Highway. That's what it's called. The Queen's Highway.
That road we keep telling people to stay off of? The Queen's Highway.
Uh-huh. Probably avoid that place if you don't want to see the Queen.
You know, just a thought. What I do like about this is we will see this bow later.
Mm-hmm. I do Robin love that. You know how we feel about it.
I believe it's Robin. I think it's
you're
a
right.
real moment too.
Yeah.
Where, like, they're gonna kill somebody and then, like, oh, it's supposed to be like Marion and then he stops it or whatever.
Exactly. It's a whole thing.
Something
we see
like
it again.
But we see it again. I like it when, like, the Rumple stuff comes back around.
Yep.
And we see it back again.
Me too. So, she now has this plan to kill the queen, and Grumpy is like, yeah, deuces, I'm out. Like, I'm not. This ain't it. Mm-hmm. You're on your own. Solid. And Snow's like, fine. So what's the price? Rumpelstiltskin, I'll take it. How much do I owe you? And he says, I don't want anything. I'm just invested in your future. We love a through line.
You know somebody is like, haha, I'm so clever.
The cleverest?
The cleverness of me.
Uh-huh. And we're sticking around with Rumpelstiltskin for a moment because Charming has now arrived to seek counsel with him. And he does the thing where he walks in. He's like, hey, where are you? And Rumpelstiltskin's like, bitch, I'm behind you. I like to do this thing. You should really just walk into my castle and turn around and assume I'm going to be there.
Yeah. Just walk in and be like, hello.
Yep, that should be the move.
Yeah.
But he explains that Charming is the cause of Snow's pain. He warns him that if Snow kills the queen, Snow will become evil. Sure. Okay. But it's okay. It's okay because True Love's kiss can break the potion spell.
Right. True Love's kiss can break anything, except if you're plated in gold.
As we have learned.
If you are plated in gold, fuck you.
Mm-hmm, exactly. But Rumpelstiltskin gives Charming Snow's location in exchange for his coat. And Charming's like, why do you need it? And he's like, I don't know. It's drafty in here. Give me your coat.
It's such a good one. It's drafty in here.
It's great.
I just love Robert Carlyle in this role.
I love him.
Man. He does so much good stuff with it. I just loved his delivery of, it's drafty in here. Like,
it's great. It's the same
deep
energy.
Sarcasm.
Right? It's the same energy as when he takes Snow's strand of hair and she's like, what do you need with it? And he's like, what do you need now that it's not on your head?
Yeah. It's like, oh, it's drafty in here. Mm-hmm. He does a little finger flourish.
Yep. It's great. With this news, Charming sneaks up behind Snow, knowing her location. And she's like setting up to shoot the queen. She's like, this is going to be good. This is going to be good.
Yeah, she's hopping along the hill line right above the carriage and no one notices.
No. But he finds her and he kisses her. He just full on like sneak attack kiss. Mm-hmm. Why not? And she, at first there's a moment where she's like, oh, this is nice. And she's like, I'm sorry. Who the fuck are you? Absolutely not. She knocks him out and ties him to a tree. Hopefully there are no wolves around.
Yeah, that's 2 in a row. We've tied a man to a tree.
Woof.
Is this the thing for someone? I feel like it's a thing for someone.
It must be. Again, we don't kink shame, but it must be a thing for someone.
2 in a row. 2 in a row, men are tied to trees.
Oof. Will he also get eaten? Stay tuned to find out. Back in Storybrooke, David visits Dr. Hopper, Archie, whatever, and says, hey, I've been having blackouts, and I really need to know what's happening in these blackouts. So he says, okay, come in. We move over to find Henry, who has stolen the keys from Regina's office.
Sure.
Because he's a menace. And he's like, hey, think my mom is using these to enter Mary Margaret's apartment. And, to plant the dagger, take the box, all this stuff. And he's trying to fit these keys into the doorknob. It's one of those locks where it's, clearly supposed, like how a bathroom, house bathrooms have the little hole on the outside of the doorknob. So if you do lock yourself inside, or if it does lock for whatever reason, you have, the long pointy key that goes in and just turns. Mm-hmm. It looks like one of those. He is using, traditional...
skeleton keys.
Truly, because they have skulls on them. But he's trying to shove these into this little hole, I don't know, it's not working. And Emma's like, fine, we'll try one more and then we're going in. He's like, ooh, try this one. And lo and behold, it opens the door.
Dun dun dun!
Exactly. Suspense as we go back to the Enchanted Forest. Where Charming wakes up, he's still tied to a tree. He now has a mark on the side of his face that wasn't there before. Something happened.
It didn't seem to have hit that part of his head.
Nope, but doesn't matter. He is baffled and shocked that she doesn't remember him, and Snow's like, I don't love you. I don't know what to tell you. True.
Solid.
I don't love you. I don't know who you are. This ain't it. I'm gonna kill the queen. And then she leaves. And then Jiminy Cricket arrives.
Because of course he does.
Chews through the rope. They keep showing it. They keep going to Charming's face, then back to the rope where this cricket's just nomming and spitting out pieces of rope. And I
don't know why we had to keep looking at it.
We understand the concept. He's eating the rope. I got it. I don't need to see it.
Yeah.
But we're here. And Jiminy's like, hey, instead of trying to make Snow remember you, you should help her remember herself. What a good conscience. Why not?
Sure.
He gets freed, and he runs off to find Snow again. And once again, she's, setting up in clear sight of the Queen's Highway. They showed the point of view from the highway. She's just there in full black, running alongside, not hiding or blending in at all. It's insane. But she's fully set up. She's like, okay, got my arrow. I'm ready. She pulls back, and Charming yeets himself in front of the arrow and falls down.
Yep, just bam!
And he's, professing his love is only a Charming can.
Oh, yeah,
And she's like, what the fuck did you do? What the hell is this move? No one down below notices this, by the way, which they should. It's a very loud commotion, but Regina cannot be bothered with this. And Charming says, I'd rather die than see your heart filled with darkness. And she's crying because she's like, no one's ever done this for me before. Why are you doing this? I don't understand. And she kisses him and her memory is restored. Huzzah!
Oh, hooray!
He still has an arrow sticking out of his chest.
Oh, yeah, no. He's still in mortal peril, but she's remembered herself, so
huzzah.
It's better.
But it's okay, because King George and his knights interrupt this moment. Remember them?
Yeah, it's like they're a cutscene.
Yeah.
They're not there. It's like you're playing a video game, and these things are not there. They're not a threat. Whatever. You get to a certain point, and then the cutscene starts rolling, and all of a sudden, there are suddenly 7 knights pursuing him. Where did they come from?
I don't know. No one hears them. Suddenly, they're here, and they're our problem.
Yep.
And, they show up, and they capture Charming. He's taken away in a cage, and he's, yelling Snow's name, which is bonkers. Lo pointed this out. He's like, no, Snow White, I'm sorry, her face is on wanted posters everywhere.
They are 3 seconds from the Queen's Road, and the Queen has just ridden by with a guard. And he's just in this cage screaming, no, Snow White, who is wanted for murder and treason.
Yep. No one cares, though, and Snow just looks after him and is like, I'll always find you.
It's the Charming way.
It sure is. So, we are now back in Storybrooke. David does hypnosis, which apparently Archie knows how to lead one through.
Yep. Solid. Okay.
He's trying to remember the night of Catherine's disappearance. And, Archie's asking questions and trying to probe these memories, and he talks about his last conversation with her and says, she wished that David, like, I guess in this phone call, she wished David and Mary Margaret well, if it meant that he was going to be happy. And then he flashes back to the woods, and it's a flashback, but it's a flashback to his enchanted forest memories. But he doesn't know this because he's still cursed. But it's the memory of Snow White where she's like, I'm gonna kill him, I'm gonna kill her, I'm gonna kill her. We know she's talking about the queen, but homeboy David is like, oh man,
I kept asking you not to kill her.
Mary Margaret, who suddenly has long hair and a bow and arrow and a coat, wants to kill Catherine.
Yeah, she's got this beautiful hooded cloak and very long hair in this memory.
And it's snowing. I don't know. Weird.
I don't know. Bonkers.
But
she looks entirely different, but obviously this is a memory.
But he thinks nothing of this and rushes out of the office with this newfound information, thinking, boy, know who would love to hear this? Mary Margaret. I bet she'll be just tickled pink by this revelation that I've had.
Certainly.
So he goes to her jail cell to question her about the flashback and is like, hey, do you know why I have this memory? Tell me the truth. Did you kill Catherine? She's like, what? I stood by you for those 38 seconds when they thought you had killed her. The audacity of you, good sir.
Back when the evidence mounting up against you was you were acting weird and there was a phone record that you talked. Now that I've got fingerprints on a box with Catherine's human heart inside, you think I'm a murderer?
No. Get out.
I'm like, I know it's an emotionally charged scene. She's not thinking, but I'm just like, all of his evidence was super, like, circumstantial.
Right.
No evidence. At that point, nobody even knew that Catherine was dead. We know she's not even dead, but,
still,
nobody thought she was dead. Everyone was hoping she'd be found alive.
Right.
And all the evidence was, hey, you lied about a phone call you had. Also, you've been having blackouts.
Exactly.
Mary Margaret's evidence
but it's stacking up. It's hefty.
Your fingerprints were on your jewelry box, which was containing Catherine Nolan's heart, carved out with a hunting knife that we found hidden in your apartment.
It's all stacking up. I recognize
I'm not
that
saying
shitty
she
for
can't
David.
be upset. I'm just saying
it's a little shitty of David to be like, you're a murderer. But I can understand why he's questioning it. I can understand.
I can see why he's getting led to these conclusions.
But it's weird that he goes to her jail cell and is like, are you a murderer?
Yeah, no, that part's deeply weird. But no,
I can understand where he's coming from.
I get why he's like, hey,
listen. Ooh.
This feels wrong.
Right. But at any rate, she's like, get the fuck out. Get out of here immediately.
Sure.
And we go back to the enchanted forest where Snow is returning to the dwarfs, and she like opens the door and they all stare at her, and she places a mug in front of Happy. And Grumpy is like, that's not you think this is going to make up for what you've done? And she says, well, this is the only thing I broke that I'm able to fix. And at that moment, they all realize, oh, it's Snow, it's her, she's back. They're all very happy. And she tells them that King George has Charming and that she needs to go get him. And Grumpy's like, not alone, sister. You got us all. With Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, they don't stand a chance.
Sure, everyone knows that's how that works.
And it sounds like a joke, but he does say, we'll see if they can stop Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs or something like that. And
yeah, he does.
It's bonkers. It's insane. So they offer to help her, and off they go. We go back to the dark castle where Rumpelstiltskin is inspecting the coat that he took from Charming, and he removes a strand of hair. We hope it was Charming's. We just don't know. But he takes it and drops it into the bottle that already contained Snow White's hair from the previous episode. And there's a reaction of sorts. I don't know, magic and spells.
In vitro fertilization.
There's something happening. And he puts the bottle in the true love spot on the shelf. You know, the spot where he would put a true love potion if he had one. He now has one. He did it. By Joe, I think he's done it. Back in Storybrooke, which is where we will end this episode, Mary Margaret is making up her little cot, pulling up the sheet to make it pretty since she has nowhere else to go. She hears something beneath the mattress, and she finds a key. And it's a skull key that can unlock the door to her cell. So she tests it, and then she hears someone coming in, quickly closes the door again. Emma walks in and is like, hey, so the DNA results came back on the heart. Terrible news. The heart belongs to Catherine.
She's murdered.
But it's okay. It's okay. I think Regina's behind it. So, it's gonna be fine. It's really weird. She's like, look, all the evidence says you murdered her. But I really think Regina's behind it.
Yeah.
It's interesting. What did she say? I wrote it down, I thought. She says, you know what? Like, I believe you, but belief isn't proof. So let me find proof.
Yeah.
And she leaves. She goes back to the pawn shop to discuss the possibility of Regina framing Mary Margaret. And Gold acknowledges that Regina is tough, but that Emma is more powerful than she knows.
Right.
And the final shot is the camera goes back to the jail cell, and Mary Margaret's jail cell is empty, so we know she has used that key and has run off.
Oh, Mary Margaret.
End episode.
Oh, Mary Margaret.
What a bonkers choice that is. I feel like we just start there.
Yeah.
Let me take a drink of wine, because I need this.
You take a drink. You take your drink. I'm going to monologue on this.
Please do. I'm ready.
So, here's the thing. I don't disagree with the choice to run away necessarily. Like, you have a way out. You are officially fucked, essentially. Like,
right. Sure does make you look a little guilty, though.
Right. You are looking entirely guilty. You know you haven't done it. So I don't necessarily begrudge her the urge to run. What I do begrudge her is right now leaving only confirms that you did it.
It makes you look guilty.
It makes you look guilty, and you have not been through a trial. You haven't stood before a judge or a court or anything. So, like, that's going to be
back pocket,
added. Girl. Right. You go through the trial, and once you get the verdict, that's when you start running.
You have a way out. If
the trial just looks like it's going really, really poorly. That's how you go. You go when it's not going to...
Evidence is still being compiled. They are still forming a case. There is not a trial yet. You are not... Yes, you are a suspect. You are the prime suspect, but no one is saying you are being arrested.
Right, you've been arrested.
You've been arrested, but no one is saying you are guilty of the murder of Catherine Nolan.
Yes. No, like, nobody has absolutely 100%. Everybody thinks you did it, but nobody has 100% in a court of law proven that you've done it.
Right.
And on top of that, it's like, okay, so now any lawyer worth their salt would go to before a jury or before the judge and be like, okay, so here's all the evidence we had, and then she ran.
That's fair. Yeah.
What do you make of that? What you will? Well, she ran. It looks guilty, and I'm not saying she shouldn't run. I'm saying you wait until you've been in front of them, being like, I'm perfect and innocent and whatever, and they've still gone, you know what?
You're not.
You're not. You're guilty. That's when you go.
Especially since she just hired Mr. Gold. Let him try to do something first. You just got your lawyer 28 seconds ago.
And but she's panicked. I'm not mad about a panicked woman.
As you pointed out, this gets us to midweek Sebastian Stan. We would not...
Surprise midweek Sebastian Stan! We've been referring to him as that for...
Since episode
How
1,
many years?
Oh, years, yes.
No,
forever.
Literally, this is our nickname for Sebastian Stan on this show, for Jefferson on this show. He is Surprise Midweek Sebastian Stan, and I think maybe 4 years ago or something.
Something like that.
Started a rewatch.
And we kind of just forgot he was a part of it somehow. We didn't, but we did. I knew he was in it.
Yes. And, right, and I think it was I think what happened was we'd obviously watched because we've been watching since the very beginning, but we started a rewatch and it was right kind of at that like height of my Marvel
Was it the same
obsession
weekend that I was like, oh, let's watch that? Was it The Nanny? What movie is that has
The Nanny Diaries?
The Nanny Diaries? And you were
Where
like,
you got
yeah,
really
okay.
mad at
and
me?
because I completely forgot that ScarJo and Chris Evans are in it, and I was like, motherfucker, this is your fault. And I'm almost convinced it was that same weekend. We're like, fine, let's watch once. And then I was like, for fuck's sake,
Stan fucking popped up.
I cannot escape. But he's so wonderful to look at. I'm not mad.
I'm so excited. I cannot wait for our next episode just because we get to stare at Sebastian Stan's pretty little face for a little bit.
It will be perfect.
And watch his facial expressions.
Oh, they're golden.
Again, we've said it before. I will reiterate, and I will reiterate next week as well. But if you ever are just like a little bored or a little sad, go watch one of the episodes that he's in and just pause it whenever he's on screen and just see what's happening on his face.
Even better if he's not the focal point of the scene.
Right. Yeah, no, you definitely want him when he's in the background.
It probably doesn't have the most robust stage directions. They're just like, be in the background.
See Jefferson in the background.
See what the fuck he does with that.
Yeah, see what his choices have been. Because
they are choices with a capital C.
I love him. I love it so much.
He's perfect. I feel like a good natural segue, since we're already talking about Mary Margaret, is the comment that Rumpelstiltskin makes of, if she kills the queen, she's going to be fully evil. She's going to be evil. They keep planting the seed of she will be corrupted.
And like murder. Murder blackens your heart, which is like totally fair. My whole thing with it was, so like, spoilers, obviously, but again, we've done this at the...
Yeah.
We've spoiled a lot of things at this point. So we're gonna get to season 2. Snow is going to murder Cora.
Yep.
In some of the most compelling episodes of this show.
Fuck yeah.
I can't wait till we get there. But Snow is going to murder Cora, and they're going to make this huge ass deal about the fact that, like, now her heart is darkened. It never had a spot of darkness on it before.
She was pure and good and kind. Have they met Bandit Snow White?
We just watched her rob a man of his clothing, threaten him with a pickaxe, and then send him on his merry way naked through the woods.
And I can even accept that there's a loophole where it's during that she had no love in her heart, so it wasn't her. But that aside, she knocked Charming out the first time they met. She has still done some shady ass shit. She has still killed people, sure, in self-defense, but there's still murder happening.
She sure has had murder in her heart before, because she meets Charming on the way to go murder the queen.
So
just in a different way.
Right. But when she kills Cora, it's like, oh my god, she would never do that. She would never kill. That was the whole trope of how we met her. She was going to go get rid of Regina.
I wish, again, because I love this show, and I especially love that arc. Season 2 is like my favorite run of episodes. Is everything to do with Cora.
Yeah.
But I just wish, like, it wasn't that her heart had never been darkened before. We've watched her do kind of bad shit.
She's not perfect. And I think that's what makes Snow White a compelling character in Once Upon a Time, is because she's not the traditional, look at me, I'm perfect, I'm a princess. Yay.
Right. But I just wish it had been, you know what, it's not that her heart is darkened for the first time, but now her heart is dark.
Right.
Like, in the mythology of the show, because this does seem to be how they feel about it, one murder is the same as 100. Like,
apparently.
The way they talk about it, Rumple even says she commits this murder, she becomes as evil as the person she murders.
Yep.
We've watched Regina do absolutely nothing wrong and burn down villages.
She does no wrong.
Murder people left and right. She's done nothing wrong.
She's a perfect human. Thank you very much.
But, so we've watched her do all of this, like, true messed up shit. And you're saying, yeah, but if Snow White commits this one murder, she is equally as dark as that person. So in like the mythos of the show, it should be like, oh, her heart had like darkness in it before. It had been a little like sullied. But now that she has committed murder, it is like an irrevocable, unreversible darkness to her heart that will never go away. And like, it's the majority of her heart now.
Exactly.
Or whatever it is.
And the concept, I believe, is she's so distraught because, you know, like Henry thinks of her differently now. And she didn't know she was capable of that. I wish it had been less about like, oh, I can't believe she was capable of that. She knows she's capable of that. It should have been more of the Cora was trying. She just got her heart back. I told Regina to give her her heart back. They finally had an opportunity to fix things, and I was selfish.
Right.
That should have been why she was upset. It shouldn't have been the, I can't believe I was capable of that. Bitch, we know you're capable of that.
Right.
We know
just
you're
watched you
capable
be
of
capable of that.
But it should have been I've killed before. I have never killed for such a selfish reason, and I am sorry about that.
Or I mean, and I'm even fine with I've never killed before, and that's where my guilt is stemming from. Like I've
but to
harmed.
frame her as she was perfect and never tainted before that moment is bullshit.
Right, bull fuck shit.
And we are not done being angry about this. Just wait till we actually get to.
Wait till season 2.
I should confirm. Is it actually season 2? We could be talking out of our ass right now.
No, because it's all the Cora stuff, and
Is
Barbara
it?
Hershey's only in like
Child of the Moon,
only in season 2. She comes
Miller's
back,
daughter.
like,
You right. Miller's daughter. Oh, and Lacey, my queen.
I think I know when the Cora stuff occurs in this show.
That's true. You have a very good pulse on when Cora exists in this show.
Because I love all of the messed up backstory it gives Regina. Makes her so much more compelling.
We completely forgot season 2 existed for a hot second.
We did think that was
the
second half of season 1.
A while ago we were rewatching and we were like, oh god, season 2 is Neverland. I don't fucking want to do it. I fucking hate it. That's season 3. We had so much time. It was fantastic.
It was great. Season 2 was surprise, and then it was Cora.
Oh, we were so happy.
Oh my gosh. I just love it's the moment that I think they really turn Regina into something very layered. I know we're going to get a little bit of it with the stable boy, but
get the stable boy, which gives us the
beginning
catalyst. Is the catalyst for why she is pissed at Snow.
Yeah.
But Cora adds layers to the manipulation, to
how she treats Henry. Mm-hmm. Like, it makes her make so much more sense in just, like, even when she's good, how she's messing up, because that was how she was raised. Mm-hmm. I love it. It's
so good.
The generational trauma of it all.
Oh, we love to see, we hate to see it, but we love to see it when it's not happening to us.
Yeah.
I think on the concept of hearts, this will be a quick one, because we say we've watched the show, and we have. The show is so insane. There are things I straight up just block out and do not choose to remember. The heart that we have found, if it is actually Catherine's, because we know that Regina has the ability to rip someone's heart out and like walkie-talkie control them. Yeah, we are shown that's a thing. However, every time she does that to a heart, it's glowy in pink and looks like a neon accessory of sorts. Mm-hmm. The heart that Ruby discovered does not look like that. It looks like a standard human heart. Mm-hmm. My question is it one? We're not going to get the answer here, I don't think.
Oh no, we won't.
If it is Catherine's heart, why is it not glowing? Mm-hmm. And if or is the implication supposed to be Regina has found a random ass heart, a la the Snow White original story? Mm-hmm. It's not even the heart of a pig or some shit,
right?
And has falsified the records again to be like, oh, yep, the DNA says it's her. Because if that's the case, fine. If it turns out that Catherine is in a cell somewhere and Regina's walkie-talkie hearting her, that heart should be an ungodly color and should concern everyone.
So I did give this some thought. I did. You asked this while we were rewatching.
And I'm really curious.
And I gave this some thought because I love to be able to I love to defend these writers when they couldn't defend themselves. I don't think they gave it this much
Here's
thought.
Lo. She's here defending the little people. 2022, yeah. Everyone. Give it up for Lo.
So here is what I came up with. If we're to believe this is genuinely Catherine's heart that's been ripped out of her chest, it's keeping her alive because Regina hasn't crushed it.
Okay.
Hadn't even occurred to me that, like, Regina might have falsified evidence. Right. I actually really love that. Wished it had been that. But we're assuming, yep, it's genuinely Catherine's heart. So the only thing I could come up with was the only time we ever see a human heart out of somebody's chest is when someone is, like, holding it and magicking it.
Oh.
So I'm wondering if, like, when they're in her little vault and in their chest, maybe they stop glowing because they're not actively being magicked.
I like that. Or I thought of another idea because of later in a few episodes, or maybe even next season. I don't know when. I think it's season 2. August is like, bitch, I'm turning to wood. Look at my leg. And Emma's like, pull your pants up. What are you talking about? So maybe...
I think she says down because I think he pulls it up, but, like, I prefer it the other way around. I prefer it as if he had just, like, straight goes Winnie the Pooh on her.
Pretty much. But, if the implication is in order to see the hearts glowing and see magic, you have to believe. Mm-hmm. And our perspective at that point is we're all assumed this is Emma's POV. You know, we are Emma. We do not believe.
Right. Emma's our entrance character. We're supposed to be following her.
Right. So it could also be that scenario.
Yeah, I like that too. So, you know, I think we thoroughly covered it.
Yeah.
But no, I agree. Like, I think it was a good point, and they're never going to explain it away because they don't explain much like Mary Poppins, they never explain anything. But
that is,
you know,
you're right.
I feel content in that there are a couple of explanations.
That's fair.
Why nobody's very concerned that this neon
heart
I feel better. Is glowing in front of them.
I do feel better. Okay, I had one more thing on my list. I think it was technically on your list. I just wrote it down. Rumpelstiltskin's plan.
What is
What is this man doing?
What is it? That's my question. I don't know. What is it? What is it?
Love potion.
What is it?
What's
his plan? What's his plan? Like, he's playing some sort of... I can't decide.
Matchmaker.
I can't decide if Rumpelstiltskin is playing some sort of 4D chess that, like, no one can understand.
Listen, it's his world we're just living in.
Or is this man doing connect the dots wrong? Like, it's one or the other. He's either playing
he still
4D
made a picture.
chess.
It's not the intended picture, right. But he certainly does make one.
Right. He's either playing 4D chess or he's connected the number 1 to the number 13 with nothing in between. I don't understand.
I mean, it's a bold move.
I know he's trying to get them together because they need to create the savior.
They need to have sex and create a baby. That's why he's very invested in her future, you see.
But then also, he's like, but hey, wouldn't it be funny if you murdered the queen?
What is he playing at?
I don't know.
I really do think he has a lot of faith that his plan won't work, and he's just curious how many side quests he can get these people to go on to get there.
He's the worst DM of all time.
I was speaking of DMs. I think it was on Reddit, but it was like ways to be the worst DM, and one of it is if you roll a nat 1 as a rogue, you die immediately. And I feel like that's the energy Rumpelstiltskin's giving off.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah.
It's but also like I'll let every imaginable awful thing happen, but my plan is still going to work, so I just don't care.
Yeah, no,
He's a vengeful god. He is Old Testament god. Holy shit.
Local cryptid Rumpelstiltskin is also Yahweh.
Oh no.
Sorry.
I mean, kind of. He has so much faith in his master plan that he's letting all this bullshit happen. He's like, go do this. It'll be funny for later. It's a surprise mouse-tool. Go nuts.
Oh, local cryptid. Local cryptid. I just can't get a read on what his plan is. I mean, I know we know what his...
I know what the
overarching plan is.
Yes,
I know the big
you know
part.
what big capital P plan, but all this little shit that he's doing. Like,
I'm like,
okay,
what is
you
happening?
already had a couple that was in love. Why did you give her a potion to make her not in love? Why
was it to just get his hair?
Was it just to fuck around and see how far you could get these assholes to go? Like, what?
Oh, you know what? You know what? I see what the problem is.
Let's hear it.
We forgot that Rumpelstiltskin's middle name is Fuck Around and Find Out. That's the problem.
That's our own fault for missing that piece of information because it's pretty accurate.
I mean, I don't get it.
It really doesn't make sense.
No.
And even in Storybrooke, it doesn't really make sense. Like, just how, again, he's pulling all the strings, but in a weird order, where it's like,
yeah,
if you need Emma on your side, why would you, like, make yourself act really shady around her?
Yeah.
There's a better way and a more straightforward way you could do this, unless you get weird joy out of being cryptic with things and, like, fucking around, even though no one knows you are. No one else knows your plan. You're entertaining yourself, which I guess is fine. You've been stuck in a time loop town for God fucking knows how long.
You know what? You gotta find joy somewhere.
That is one of my favorite episodes where Regina's just like, what in the fresh hell have I created?
It makes absolutely nothing in this town make sense, but it is a great fun episode.
It's a great episode. Does not work in the construct that this narrative has created for us of life. Like, yeah, time doesn't pass. They keep saying that, but then also she adopted a child
who grew. Yeah.
And will continue to grow.
Right.
Unless his classmates are not and he's an idiot.
You know what? It may just be that Henry's an idiot. Maybe that's the solution to all of our problems.
I don't even know.
I don't know. It's bonkers.
It is bonkers, but I feel like I had something else to say, and now I cannot think of it. Oh, another thing. Here's what it was. When Snow is under this spell, this potion, what have you, she makes a comment of like, what I want is to be in my castle and to be a princess and to be with my dad. And I think that's such a good moment because that we kind of forget, we lose track that she was kind of a spoiled brat princess. That was her background.
Yeah.
She did like being royalty. At no point was she the, I don't want to be a princess type. She liked her life. She liked her luxuries. She loved all of that. And she was forced to leave because, you know, she was going to be murdered.
Right. You know, by the two-headed Agrabah snake viper with no tail. I mean, I don't think that was the plan, but I just needed to remind everyone that was a thing that existed in this world.
And it would have worked, I do think. It would have killed her immediately.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it's a nice reminder that at the end of the day, she is still Princess Snow White, and that's what she wanted. She doesn't want to be on the run.
Yeah.
She had to learn how to be all of these things.
Yes.
But her roots are still, I am royalty, which I love because I think it's in season 2, once the curse is broken, they're like, we should, you know, have like, or maybe it's it's whenever she has a baby, she's like, a naming ceremony for our child. Like, she's really into this royal shit. Like, she's all here for it.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know, I kind of like those moments where it reminds us, like, yeah, she's a badass, she's a bandit.
She's rather
be a very pretty princess.
And she'd rather be in her castle.
She likes her comforts. She likes her luxuries. She has learned to adapt. This is not her ideal. Please, for the love of God, give me my castle back. So I don't know. I like that they gave us a few moments like that in this episode where it's like, no.
Yeah.
This is her life that was handed to her, not what she wants.
Definitely. No. I completely agree.
But other than that, like, this is one of those weird episodes where it
was good.
It is really good. But the weird thing is, as I'm backtracking through it, I think the only important thing in the Enchanted Forest is, okay, Rumpelstiltskin made a love potion.
Yes. No, that's definitely it. I mean, obviously, I think we had to resolve the
Right.
She doesn't remember him.
But even
nonsense.
that only had to happen. That only happened to get them back together. There was nothing that happened in that moment without her memories or whatever that impacted the plot. So that didn't even have to happen.
Right. No. It's literally
to your point,
we're spinning our wheels just to get back to it.
No, it's like your point earlier. He's playing connect the dots out of order. He's creating these problems that didn't have to be problems. There's whole chunks of plot that nothing happened with it.
Right. I don't understand. I don't get his plan because I genuinely think this man is just playing fuck around and find out.
Yeah, absolutely. Now in Storybrooke there are more moments that carry weight.
Yes.
There's all the evidence stacking up. Almost everything that happens on the Storybrooke front absolutely needs to happen. We need to know that August believes. We need to see all this evidence against Regina. We need to see how it's being framed against Mary Margaret. I'd argue we even need David being like, I think you are a murderer.
Well, yeah, because that's definitely the inciting incident in her running away. So we can get to midweek Sebastian Stan.
Exactly.
Which, very important. So...
And I think I would argue most often the Enchanted Forest pieces don't carry a lot of weight. So this is pretty on par for the course with most of these flashbacks. There's like, oh, this is fun. And it's kind of the filler. Because usually there's one or two things that we're supposed to glean at the end and be like, oh, that's why this was important.
Yeah. Especially, I think, in this first season, the flashbacks on the whole don't really matter. Like, there's like you said, there's one or two things that we're supposed to, like, pull. But on the whole, the Enchanted Forest side of things is just to be like, haha, remember we have fairy tale characters. While the Storybrooke side is the story we're supposed to be, like, heavily invested in.
Actually, now thinking of it, everything for the most part that has mattered in the Enchanted Forest has been Rumpelstiltskin's setup of showing us how he's manipulating everything at the end of the day. Regina might not be as in control as she thinks she is.
Right, and we'll get more of that down the line. And that's when the Enchanted Forest stuff, I think in, like, season 2... we kind of
when we see that mentorship with him and Regina.
Yeah, I think the Stable Boy is kind of really where we kind of see a shift in. We're not solely focused and invested in the Storybrooke line. It's Storybrooke is happening, and what's happening in the Enchanted Forest is equally as important. Whereas right now, I feel like Storybrooke is our main plot, and the Enchanted Forest is just kind of there to give us pretty costumes and flashbacks.
And I do think they try to split the time 50-50, and so that's why a lot of the plot maybe doesn't pertain, except for a few things. Like, okay, we know this has to happen. How can we make this happen?
Exactly.
And fill 20 minutes of television.
You know. So.
But it's a fun one. I like Evil Snow. I think it's a fun time.
I know. It was a great time. I always love when we get to spend our Enchanted Forest side on a caper of some sort. And so... I didn't mind that at the end of the day it didn't hugely matter.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're also just, I think, getting better at, like, they're just getting better at writing things that, even if they don't carry weight, are fun to watch.
I agree.
Whereas I think in the earlier part of the season, it was like, some of the Enchanted Forest stuff, it was like, oh my god, just...
we get it.
I get it. Archie is a sad man.
He's
a sad man and he's a cricket.
Turned humans into puppets, and we're going to see those puppets more than we want to.
I never want to see those puppets again, and we're going to see them
gonna.
So many times.
You're gonna.
But, you know, it's stuff like that. Like, this episode, it was like, yeah, the Enchanted Forest wasn't super important to the plot. But it sure was fun to watch.
Fun. It was very fun.
Yeah.
And I like it because we obviously know that's resolved. We've seen them past that moment, so we know somehow they're going to get through it.
Yeah. Well, and, you know, I think there's also something to be said that now we're, you know, almost to the end of season 1. Weird to say, but we're almost to the end of season 1. They're kind of hitting their strides. The actors kind of are gelling now, so they're funner to, they're just more fun to watch on screen together.
I would agree. And now that I'm thinking of it, I wonder, because we've seen it so many times, we may not get this moment of, not even irony, but of like duality where I almost wonder if the Enchanted Forest piece was supposed to, because I actually don't think we have seen Charming and Snow, well, their wedding, I guess, but maybe they're supposed to be taking us on this idea that she did commit murder and her heart is darkened and she maybe could kill Catherine and maybe this is possible.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
but
maybe. It's just.
But even that would be such a stretch. So, like, I think we're just
think
fucking around and having fun.
I think we would need more of Emma doubting her.
Yeah.
If we, like,
exactly.
For
if
me to say
trying,
that's their vibe and that's what they're going for, we would need Emma kind of hitting a point. It shouldn't have been, like, if that's what they wanted to do, it shouldn't have been David at the end of this episode going.
It should have been Emma.
It should have been Emma going,
hey,
this looks really bad, and I know David you say you didn't do it, but
yeesh.
I don't believe in magic, and I don't believe that, I don't think Regina's a good person, but
she's not the evil queen.
She's not gonna frame you for murder. Like,
yeah.
You're the one with the motive. You're the one whose handprints are on this. You are the one who had the knife. Like, if what they were going for is us doubting that maybe Mary Margaret did do it, we should have had Emma doubting.
Exactly. And even though, as viewers, getting both sides, we know Henry is correct, we are absolutely supposed to be following Emma's logic. We're supposed to be where she is. We are supposed to believe what she is saying.
Emma's our point of view character.
She is the, what's her fuck it from Cats 2019? Victoria.
Victoria.
She's our Victoria.
Yeah, she was thrown in a sack out onto the mean streets of Cat London.
On that note, before we die, how are the shrubberies? I don't want to think about cats right now.
Well, okay, so I was thinking about it. I mean, obviously, nothing to add to the family tree.
Yeah.
We're not going to...
Right.
This is not going to get complicated for a while, and then it's going to get real complicated real fast. On the fuck fern, nothing to add. However, I was thinking about it.
Okay.
And because we have our levels of the fuck fern.
Sure. We have the sexual tension, the kiss, the fucking...
Right. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, we haven't mentioned... Like, we've mentioned it in passing, but... I really do think we are, like, one weird moment away from putting Emma and Regina onto that fuck fern. A weird sexual tension. Like, we had the weird apple moment, and then we had the
moment before she was, like, slapped her, there was a lot of, like, in each other's face, and then they had a punching fight, and that was pretty funny.
Yeah, so, like, we've had, I feel like, two very non-aggressive, but, like, strong contenders, so I am waiting on a third.
Mm-hmm.
That's like
we're almost there.
I mean, and I know there are moments that people would be like, this was a weird moment, but I'm talking like you're waiting for them to get like they're 2 inches from each other's face.
Yep.
So
it can't just be angry tension. It can't just be I'm mad at you and actually pissed. There's a difference between like
and
this anger is being painted very sexually charged, and I'm confused.
Yes, and we've had 2. We're gonna get to 3.
And
it will happen.
I don't think there was evidence in this episode, but we're close to getting some moments with David and Regina. We're real close to giving them a tally.
We are, yeah. We are. It's coming. There's definitely at least one. That is...
Well, they're on the fern because they kiss.
Yeah, yes, they are absolutely...
They will be at it.
They're gonna be on... They're gonna be on there. But yes,
that means that Henry's grandfather has kissed his has kissed his mother. I hate this. I hate this.
She doesn't usually do the genealogy part of this.
I'm having a breakdown right now. Having a breakdown.
What Dia's hyperventilating about right now, because she's just realized this, is David and Regina kiss, which means that Henry's grandfather has kissed his step-great-grandmother.
No.
Because, and also his adopted mother, of course, but...
I must insist you stop.
But yeah. So, here, I can make it worse for you if you want.
Please do. Just destroy me.
Do you want me to rip the Band-Aid off so we
Yep.
don't have to have
Let's
this
go.
realization
It's going to
later?
happen. We're going to have this realization later. I'm going to block this out. I'm going to black out after this, but let's go.
It's not just that Henry's grandfather has kissed his step-grandmother. Charming has kissed his stepmother-in-law. Because Regina is Snow's mom for all intents and purposes. So that's his mother-in-law.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need more wine. I need to drink more. This is why you handle those pieces. And I just handle this shit.
You just
Speaking of this
Yeah.
shit, I'm just segueing.
Yeah,
right
let's just
past
let.
this.
She's like, I'm blocking that out. We will not discuss that again until it becomes relevant.
I'm gonna hallucinate through editing and just unhear all of this.
Great.
Let's see. Magic beans, still not a thing.
Mhm.
Just hold tight. They will be curses. We still just have our one town curse.
Mm-hmm.
Now the superpower.
Yeah.
I went back and forth on this a lot.
Yeah, we had a debate.
We did. And I think because of this line when Emma says belief is not proof, I do think I have to give her a tally for a superpower success. Because
Yes.
she's implying, hey, I know you are telling the truth. I know you didn't do this. But my belief, which for this analogy, her belief is her superpower, her gut instinct. It's what she bases all of her decisions on.
Right.
Is saying Mary Margaret did not do this, but she has to find the proof. So I think for that and that alone, I have to bump this up. So there are now 15 uses, 9 fails, and 6 successes. And that pains me greatly to say.
Yeah. No, I mean, I completely agree with your analysis. It just...
It's the phrasing. Had she not said that...
The only problem I have with it, and again, I agree with your ruling, so I'm not disagreeing with you giving the point or anything. The only thing that bothers me is, on the whole, her power is framed as something when someone is lying to me. And nobody is to her face telling her a lie.
The evidence is lying, but it's not
Nobody's saying
lie.
words. Nobody is saying, Mary Margaret did it to her face, and she's going, you have knowledge that is a lie.
I absolutely agree.
I think in the
conversation is framed in a way where it's like, oh, this, but I agree, it's stupid because evidence can't talk.
Right. I agree with your assessment. I agree with the point. I'm just mad about it because I think you're being more fair than I want you to be.
You know how mad I am right now?
You're being too nice to them.
I
You're
am.
being too nice to them because I don't think they really thought, I don't think, what I'm not getting off the vibe of the episode is that Emma is thinking my superpower is telling me something is wrong. And I think that's where I'm having a problem. It's not, usually when her superpower is used, she says
it. She calls it out.
Right.
I have a superpower.
She says the words,
and maybe
I have
it's
a
because
superpower.
she's already said that to Mary Margaret. She doesn't feel the need to
Right. I just
say it. I don't know. It's stupid. I don't like it, but here we are.
No, I agree with your assessment entirely. I just am mad about it.
And I think
I don't like to give her credit. So
no one does.
And I don't like to give the writers credit, even though I will go to bat for them 90% of the time.
Absolutely, yes.
But
agreed.
Yeah, no. I mean, this was a time, but you know what?
This was a time. What?
Soon there will be surprise midweek Sebastian Stan.
Oh.
And
this was a bad time, but that will be a good time. I don't even know if I can in good honest to God truth say it's a bad time next week.
It's a bad time. No, it might be a good time next week.
We might.
We'll be together too when we record, so I don't think it can be a bad time.
Right? We'll see. You know, this show always surprises us. It still might be bad.
It might be a very bad time.
To be fair, last week was a very grim episode. Next week's is a very, horrific episode. Very intense,
kidnapping.
very stressful, murdering, trying to... It's grim.
Yeah, no.
Not gross.
No,
but disturbing.
Yeah, not the violent gore of last episode.
But it certainly is upsetting.
No. I mean, I think as two women who were, move through this world, one of our worst nightmares.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would think, being abducted
Easily.
and held captive in a house away from everyone else. Yeah.
God, but more on that next week.
But, you know, at least Sebastian Stan will be there to make it pretty.
Yep. So it's okay.
So it's there.
Oh.
Good news. Great news.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
It can only go up from here.
Thank God.
As a reminder, don't forget to leave any comments on our Instagram at winewineandones, or send an email to our Gmail at winewineandones
Absolutely.
at gmail.com.
Leave a comment, leave a review, leave a question.
Yep.
I don't know.
If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, leave a review. It can be literally Ruby ate her boyfriend. In fact, I request that it is.
Every episode, just put Ruby ate her boyfriend because nothing else matters. That is the show
That's
now.
it. That's all I'm focused on now. She ate her
God.
boyfriend.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hate it. Have a great week, everyone.
Yeah, enjoy. See you next Sunday.
Bye.
Bye.